All right, so moving on toward the reading passage 3, you can see that you should spend about 20 minutes on questions 27 to 40, which are based on reading passage 3 below. Once again, we have 20 minutes. And one thing that you should know is that in the reading passage 3, they always give you more content as compared to the passage 1 and 2. As you can see, there are, I believe, more than 10 paragraphs here. And that's why people or even IELTS instructors usually suggest that when you're solving your passage 1, try to spend only 17 minutes on that. You should save your 3 minutes. Even after transferring your answer to the answer sheet, spend 15 minutes to solve the question, 2 minutes to transfer your answer to the answer sheet, save your 3 minutes. Passage 2, you can solve it in 20 minutes. And in the passage 3, you should spend those additional saved, stashed 3 minutes on the passage 3. That's how you will get 23 minutes to solve this passage. Now, once again, just because we have a lot of information here, and it is also suggested for the passage 3 that do not try to read out this passage before you read out the question, because it's important you should know that what you're going to look for. Reading it out would be the waste of time as you do not know what exactly are you looking for. Now, let's move on toward the categories of the question which are given below. Number 1, 27 to 30, you can see there are 4 MCQs question, and MCQs are a bit tricky because they give you similar information, but you have to select the most appropriate one. And for one question, you would have to read out one question, then there would be 4 options, a similar option generating a similar meaning, but sometime, of course, one or two option would be totally out of the league, but one or two options would be so close that it becomes difficult for you to select the appropriate answer. But I'm going to teach you how you can select that. What is the strategy to select the appropriate answer? That's what we're going to cover today. And there would be 4 answers. So 4 options. Out of these 4 options, you have to select one, and that is only possible if you find out the key words and just look those key words into the paragraph and try to relate those. And for the keywords, once again, they do use the synonyms, they do use the paraphrasing of the statement, and you have to have all these things on your fingertip, that how these things work. Moving on, you can see there are once again the sentence completion questions, which are easier now. We have practiced that in passage 1 and passage 2, and now we are in the passage 3. And at the last, you can see question 35 to 40 are the similar question, list of the people. So it's the list selection. Matching headings, we just have to match these headings with the given list below. We are going to cover all these things, but let's take a start with the MCQs question. Just as I mentioned earlier that you would have to read out question before you read out the paragraph, only then you would be very well aware of what you're looking for. Just like in the question number 27, they have mentioned the first paragraph tells us about, it means they're just talking about the first paragraph. You just have to read out that one. If you would go through it all from passage paragraph number 1, 2, 3, might be till the paragraph number 12. If 12 paragraphs are there in the passage 3, it would be the waste of time, waste of energy, waste of effort, and it's not going to give you any sort of benefit. But reading out the question will help you to understand at what sort of information you have to look into the paragraph. This is what we are going to do even right now. But before we solve these questions, I would like to suggest you a few of the things. Number 1, you should know that you would have to do the skimming and scanning over here. Skimming and scanning is for the question as well. First, read out the question, read out all these 4 options, underline the keywords, try to paraphrase in your mind and try to generate your own meaning of the question, your own meaning about the statements. Only then you would be able to locate it into the paragraph. And then to answer the question, when you jump to the paragraph, you would have to find out what is the location of the answer, just as it's very easy in the question number 27. The first paragraph tells us about, we just have to read out the paragraph number 1. But let's suppose if they would have mentioned some different statement, they might have related to, just like in question number 29, what did Apache the observe at the telecommunication company? Now we would have to locate the answer, that where the answer is hidden. After that, we'll read out in detail that what is the meaning. A general perspective doesn't work over here. We have to have the clear understanding about every paragraph. We have to know that what every paragraph is all about, what is the opinion of the writer. These answers are mostly related with opinion. What is the opinion, what the writer wants to say, and then you would find out your appropriate answer. You need to know that they are gonna use the distractors. Sometimes they use distractors in the question, sometimes distractors you will find in the paragraph. What are the distractors? Distractors are those words which totally change the meaning of a sentence just by applying one word. Just like everyone mostly, never, sometimes, often. You have to be very much careful about these distractors, only then you would be able to get the exact meaning what you're looking for. One best part is that the answers always come in order. It means that if you find out the answer for question number 27 in the first paragraph, the answer of 28 would be in the next paragraph, or might be even in the first paragraph. If the question of 27 is in the second line, you would have to move on to find out the answer of the question number 28. And very important thing, remember, you do not need to write on the complete options, complete sentences to mention your answer. Your answer will only be in alphabets, just like if for 27, if you select A is the answer, but writing down the whole statement, just like the kinds of job that will be most affected by the growth of AI, that is not the answer. They will just simply cross it. You will not get any band for that. You just have to write down alphabetic answer, which means A, B, C, or D. That is it. All right, so let's move on toward the question number 27. The first paragraph tells us about a very simple question. And of course, now you know that you have to read out the first paragraph only. The answer is hidden in the first paragraph only. And the four options are, let's read out the option. Let's just find out what are the keywords. How can we differentiate between these four options and what are the meanings which we have to extract. Number one, A part, the kinds of job that will be most affected by the growth of AI. Kinds of jobs, jobs affected by the growth of AI, jobs affected by AI, artificial intelligence. B, the extent to which AI will alter the nature of the work that people do. AI alter work. That's it. Alter the nature of the work. C, the proportion of world's labor force who will have jobs in AI in the future. Proportion, world's labor force, job, AI, future. These are the keywords. The D option is the difference between ways that embodied and disembodied AI will impact on workers. These are the four options. Now let's read out the first paragraph. And let me tell you once again, you can go through your paragraph number one. Then if you find out the meaning directly, good. But you can reread it and you can reread the question in order to understand and to give the correct answer. Now, the future of the work, according to the leading business consultancy, 3 to 14% of the global workforce will need to switch to a different occupation within next 10 to 15 years. And all workers will need to adapt as their occupations evolve alongside increasing capable machines. Automation or embodied artificial intelligence is one aspect of disruptive effects of technology on labor market. Disembodied AI like the algorithms running in our smartphones is another. Okay, they are just talking about the two perspective, embodied and disembodied, and then they mentioned 3 to 4% global workforce will need to switch in next 10 to 15 years, and all workers will need to adopt as their occupation evolve alongside increasing capable machines. So people would have to change their profession occupations. Now let's read out now the four options once again. The number one option is the kind of jobs that will most affected by the growth of AI. They did not talk about the jobs kind. And number two, the extent to which AI will alter the nature of the work that people do. I believe this could be the answer. The proportion of world's labor force who will have jobs in AI in the future. They were not talking about people who would be having jobs in AI in the future. It's yeah, they were mentioning about the proportion, but I believe B should be the most appropriate one. The D, the difference between ways that embodied and disembodied AI will impact on workers. They did not talk about that at all. So what I believe is that B should be the answer. The extent to which AI will alter the nature of the work and people that people do. Why it's important? Because sometimes we have to find out that what's the main idea and what are the supporting detail. And the main idea was all workers will need to adapt as their occupation evolve alongside increasing capable machines. Automation or embodied, this is further explanation part. So the main idea was given in the first two lines, first 2 to 3 lines. According to the leading business consultancy, 3 to 14% of the global workforce will need to switch to a different occupation within the next 10 to 15 years. They just mentioned a random percentage. In 10 to 15 years, people will change their job, and all workers will need to adapt as their occupation evolve alongside increasing capable machines. Yes, B should be the answer for that. Let's read out the B statement once again. The extent to which AI will alter the nature of the work that people do. Yes, the extent. Why extent? Because they did mention um, adapt as their occupation evolve alongside increasing capable machines. That is why we have selected the B option for the question number 27. Moving on toward the question number 28. According to the second paragraph, what is Stella Pacidi's view of the knowledge economy? Okay, it is having an influence on the number of jobs available. It is changing people's attitude toward their occupation, influence on the number, changing people's attitude, keywords. It is the main reason why the production sector is declining, production sector declining. Main reason, it is a key factor driving current developments in the workforce. Okay, a key factor driving current development workforce. These are only the keyword. Now let's read out the second paragraph. Economist Professor Hamish Low. Oh, no, 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 no. This is not the second paragraph. Dr. Stella Pachidi from Cambridge Judge Business School believes that some of the most fundamental changes are happening as a result of algorithmication of jobs that are dependent on data rather than on production. They're not talking about declining in production as I know. The so-called knowledge economy. Algorithms are capable of learning from the data to undertake tasks that previously needed human judgment, such as reading legal contract, analyzing medical scans, and gathering market intelligence. All right. She is talking about, she believes that some of the most fundamental changes are happening as a result of algorithmication of jobs that are dependent on the data rather than on the production. Uh, that are dependent on the data rather than on production. Okay, the so called knowledge economy. Algorithms are capable of learning from data to undertake tasks that previously needed human judgment, such as reading legal contract. Okay, these are the things which earlier people were doing, and now the computer or the algorithm is doing nowadays. 28. Number one, it is having an influence on number of jobs available. No connection at all. Number two, it is changing people's attitude toward their occupation. No connection once again. They are not talking about attitude, their behavior. It is the main reason why the production sector is declining. No, no, they did not mention that as well. It is a key factor driving current development in the workforce. I believe this should be the answer because the current development is that people are depending more on the data and rather than on the production. Yes, for these things and all the things which human beings were doing earlier, now AI is doing those things. So this is the current development in the workforce. I believe this should be the answer. Let's go through that once again to find out the appropriate one. Um, some of the most fundamental changes are happening. Yes, see, like they're talking about present and jobs are dependent on data rather than on the production. So-called knowledge economy. Algorithms are capable of learning from data and undertake tasks that previously human needed human judgment, such as reading legal contract. Yes, D should be the appropriate answer for the question number 28. It is a key factor driving current developments in the workplace. That is the appropriate answer. Moving on towards the question number 29, what did Pachidi observe at the telecommunication company? Number one, staff disagreeing with the recommendation of AI, staff disagreeing with the recommendation, staff feeling resentful about the intrusion of AI in the workforce, feeling resentful. Number C, staff making sure that AI produces the result that they want. Okay, producing result, a positive one, producing result what they want. Number D, staff allowing AI to carry out tasks they outdo themselves. Now, what are the keywords over here from the question? What sort of information we have to look for? A very prominent word over here is telecommunications company and Pachidi. So it means there is the name of one person and the telecommunication company. I believe they can't use synonyms for that. They would have to use the same words into the paragraph. What we have to do is to locate a similar information. We have to locate the relatable content with these two words. We have already read about this name, and now let's just find out that where the telecommunication word is written. All right. Now we can see another issue is the extent to which the technology influences or even controls the workforce. For over 2 years, Pachidi monitored the telecommunication company. Exact words are there. The way telecom salespeople work is through personal and frequent contact with clients, using the benefit of experience and assess a situation and reach a decision. However, the company had started using an algorithm that defined when account managers should contact certain customers about which kind of campaign and what to offer them. All right, in the first two lines, she just mentioned that she monitored telecommunication company. In the third line, she is just talking about the telecom company that how salespeople work there to convince. But however, Answer is must be hidden over here. However, the company had started using an algorithm that defined when account managers should contact certain customer they are working together about which kinds of campaign and what to offer them. Now let's find out the options. Question number 29. Number one, staff disagreeing with the recommendations of AI. No connection over there. B, staff feeling resentful about the intrusion of AI in the work. No connection once again. Staff making sure that AI produces the result that they want. Yeah, this could be similar because they are working together. They are depending on the computer to tell the account manager when to contact the customer. So this should be the answer. D. Staff allowing AI to carry out tasks they out to do themselves. No, 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 no. It's not like every single task will get done by the AI. AI is just gonna do some calculations and will inform the account manager when to contact the specific customer. So C is the appropriate answer. Staff making sure that AI produces the result that they want. So AI will tell them when to contact and to which customer they have to contact at what time. Now, A and B are more like the negative statements about AI. These are just not there in the paragraph. Staff disagreeing with the recommendation and feeling resentful about the intrusion of AI in their work. These options are just not there. Okay, moving on to the last question, question number 30. In his recent published research, Ewan McGoge, I don't know that's the exact pronunciation of, or I don't know that's the exact pronunciation or not, but still, the only thing is we don't need to worry about the name pronunciation. It's a reading module, it's not a speaking module. Moving on, first, if they give you the name of any person, just like in the question number 28 and 29, they did mention the name Pachidi was there. In 30, they have mentioned the name Ivan. So it should be easy to locate this word. Let's locate this word first. Is this there? In the first paragraph, of course, we read it thoroughly. The second paragraph, we also read it thoroughly. The third paragraph, no, this name is not there. Not even in the fourth one, not even in the fifth one, sixth, seventh, not on the first page. Now let's find out where have they used this name. This second paragraph on this next page is starting with Hamish Lowe, not this one. Okay, now, Dr. Evan, we can find out the answers somewhere here from now to onward, from here to onward. Let's read out the question first. Now, what information do we have to look for? In his recently published research, Evan and Mac, whatever is the name, challenges the idea that redundancy is a negative thing. Number one. Number two, shows the profound effect of mass unemployment on society. Effect of mass unemployment. Highlight some differences between the past and the future job losses. Illustrates how changes in the job market can be successfully handled. So the keywords would be idea that redundancy is a negative thing. Okay. These are the keywords. Profound effect of mass unemployment on society. Effect of unemployment on society. Differences between past and future job losses. How changes in the job market can be successfully handled. Changes in the job market successfully handled. These are the keywords. Now let's look at what exactly he was mentioning in his research. Okay, now Dr. Ivana, Cambridge Center of Business Research and King's College London agrees that, okay, views about the future of the work is misguided. It's the law that restricts the supply of capital to the job market, not the advent of new technology that causes unemployment. They did not mention it. They just mentioned the overview of this person and they did not talk about the research. His recently published research, now answer should be here. His recently published research answers the question of whether automation, AI, and robotic will mean a jobless future. Okay, the future word was there in the option. By looking at the causes of unemployment, this was also there. History is clear that change can mean redundancies. These words were there. History was related to the past word, but social policies can tackle this through retraining and redeployment. Okay. He adds, so it means the research continues. We have to continue reading because the research part has not completed yet. If there is going to be change to jobs as a result of AI and robotic, then I would like to see government seizing the opportunity to improve policy to enforce good job security. This is important. We can reprogram the law to prepare for a fairer future of work and labor. And Mac's findings are a call to arms to leader of organization, government, and bank to preempt the coming changes with bold new policies that guarantee full employment, fair incomes, and a thriving economy democracy. He's focusing more on making strategies to handle the future perspective of the job. Challenges the idea that redundancy is a negative thing. No, he did not talk about that. Shows the profound effect of mass unemployment on the society. Yes, he just mentioned that unemployment would be there, but he also came up with a solution, highlighting some differences between the past and future job losses. He was not doing that. The intention was not like that. Illustrates how changes in the job market can be successfully handled. Yes, this is what he was talking about, that how government and other leaders and government organizations or other organizations can join hand to handle this thing effectively. So he was talking about this thing. So D should be the correct answer for this question. Okay, now, what strategies did we apply to answer these MCQs? Number one, we just simply read out the questions before we would have read the passage. Number one. Number two, we try to read out the question, paraphrase it, analyze it deeply, get the meaning, and then to select the keyword. Find out those keywords into the passage, locate the information. You would have to read out that specific part in detail to answer the question. Only then you would be able to do it. And then elimination rule works really well over here because we can keep eliminating the additional option or excessive option or extra options that we do not need, and we can just simply jump to the accurate answer, because this is for sure that there are three options which are not the correct one and there is only one correct answer. So we can eliminate the option which is just not there for the answer. That is how we solve the multiple choice question. And now we are moving on toward the next questions from 31 to 34.